This is the story of something truly creepy that happened to me, and I am going to tell you. It still makes my skin crawl whenever I think about it, and honestly, I don't think I'll ever look at supermarkets the same way again. It happened about 2 years ago. I had just moved to a new town for work. It wasn't a big town, more like one of those quiet places where everyone seemed to know each other. I didn't know anybody yet. I was still getting used to the streets, the buildings, even the way the town just felt. It was a Saturday evening around 8 o'clock when I realized I had no food at home. So, I decided to walk to the only supermarket that stayed open late, this old place called Milner's Market. From the outside, the supermarket looked normal enough. The lights were a little dim, but I figured it was just an old building. When I stepped inside, though, I noticed something strange right away. There weren't many people. Actually, there were only 2 other customers that I could see, and they both seemed off. One was a woman who kept standing in the same spot, staring at a shelf full of canned soup like she couldn't decide. Or maybe she wasn't even looking at the soup at all. The other was a man wearing a heavy coat, even though it was warm outside. He kept pacing slowly up and down the same aisle, his footsteps oddly slow and even, like he was counting them. I shook it off. I told myself not to be paranoid. New town, new people, probably just different ways of doing things, right? I grabbed a basket and started shopping. I went up and down the aisles quickly. I just needed basics: bread, milk, some frozen meals. As I was about halfway through, I noticed something else. The store was dead silent. No music playing, no announcements, nothing. You know how supermarkets always have that soft background? Music or someone's voice calling for help to aisle 4? This place had nothing. The only sounds were my own footsteps and the low, soft hum of the fluorescent lights overhead. And then I heard it. A whisper. At first, I thought it was just my imagination. But no, I heard it again. Very faint. Like someone was standing just behind me, whispering something I couldn't quite catch. I whipped around. No one was there. The aisle was completely empty. I shook my head, feeling a little silly, and hurried along. I decided to just grab the last few things I needed and get out. But as I turned into the frozen food section, I saw something that made my heart skip a beat. That same woman from before, the one staring at the soup, was now at the end of the frozen foods aisle, still staring. But now it felt like she was staring at me. Her eyes looked wrong. They were too wide, almost unblinking. Her mouth was slightly open, like she was mid-sentence, but no words were coming out. I looked away quickly and pushed my basket faster down the aisle. I told myself again, it's just a weird coincidence. People are weird. That doesn't mean anything's wrong. But when I glanced back over my shoulder, she was closer. I hadn't heard her footsteps. I hadn't heard anything. But she was standing, maybe 10 feet closer to me, still staring, still silent. That's when I started to really feel scared. I picked up my pace, heart hammering in my chest. I turned a corner sharply, almost knocking over a stack of cereal boxes. I moved through the store quickly, half walking, half jogging, trying to find the checkout counters. And that's when I realized something even worse. There were no employees. None. The registers were empty. The customer service counter was dark. There wasn't a single worker anywhere. I stood there, clutching my basket, feeling more alone than I ever had in my life. I thought about just leaving the basket and running for the door, but something inside me said to stay calm, to act normal. So, I slowly walked toward the front entrance, basket still in hand, trying to look casual. And then the lights flickered, only for a second. But in that second, I swear I saw something. In the reflection of the front windows, I saw dozens of people. dozens of them, all standing silently behind me. But when the lights came back steady, there was no one there. I dropped the basket. I didn't care about the groceries anymore. I just needed to get out. I pushed on the front door. It didn't budge. I pushed harder. It was locked. My heart was pounding so loud, it felt like it was the only thing I could hear. I looked around wildly, trying to find another way out. That's when I heard it again, the whispering. Louder this time. It filled the air like a soft breeze, but the words were still impossible to understand. And then I saw the man in the heavy coat. He was standing right at the end of one of the aisles, just staring at me. His face was pale, like chalk, and his eyes, they were completely black. No whites, no irises, just black. I stumbled backward, slipping a little on the shiny floor, and then suddenly the whispering stopped. The lights flickered again, and all the people I thought I had seen in the reflection, they were real now. They filled the store. Dozens of silent, staring figures, all of them looking straight at me. I don't even remember deciding to run. My legs just moved on their own. I sprinted down one of the side aisles, away from the front entrance. I didn't know where I was going. I just knew I had to get away from them. I found a door marked "Employees Only," and without thinking, I shoved it open and ran through. It led to a back hallway, lit only by a few buzzing overhead lights. I ran down it, throwing glances behind me, but no one was following. Yet, I found another door at the end of the hallway. I grabbed the handle and prayed it would open. It did. I burst out into the night air, gasping, feeling like I had just escaped drowning. The back of the store was dark, just an empty parking lot and a few dumpsters. I didn't stop to catch my breath. I just kept running, all the way back to my apartment, not stopping until I was safely inside with the door locked. I didn't go back to Milner's Market after that. A few days later, I worked up the courage to ask a coworker about it. I just casually mentioned it, trying to sound like I wasn't freaked out. He went pale. "You went there?" he asked. "That place has been shut down for years, ever since the fire." My blood turned cold. "What fire?" I asked. He told me. About 5 years ago, there had been a huge fire in Milner's Market. Some electrical problem, they said. A bunch of people got trapped inside. They didn't make it out. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to believe. But I know what I saw. And I know. I will never set foot inside an empty supermarket at night ever again, ever.